Hey, my name's David, and this is Tracy, and we just might be the youngest camp host that you've ever met. We've been at Salt Point State Park for a couple of months, but then this quarantine coronavirus thing started, and so the campground's actually closed. But being volunteers, they are happy to have us here, and we're grateful to be here. It's a really beautiful spot. You got to make it up here when you can. We are in the midst of our travels, living in this remodeled vintage burro trailer. Already gave you a tour of that. But in this video, we want to take you a little bit deeper into how we roll as semi-nomads, going a little bit beyond this trailer, to some of the things we have, give you a tour of the campsite. Going to take you on this gator for a ride. We're going to hit some of the trails around here and go on down to the beach. Hopefully we've got a special surprise to show you down there. We found something really cool yesterday. We're hoping it's still there. So let's have a look around. So the first thing we like to do whenever we go anywhere is to make our space clean and organized and beautiful, because that's just how we like to live. We like to keep it small, simple, and essential. So outside of this trailer, we got a beautiful deck, and as you can see, Tracy's put some potted plants and flowers around. We like to use this deck for doing yoga and just catching some sun on these beautiful days. You can see we've got our Yeti here for food storage outside of the trailer. We can also use the car back there for storage of things too. And we like to be outside as much as possible. So we've got an outdoor cooking stove here. We use propane for that. This campground comes with some food storage containers, and that's been really handy for us here. We're gonna grab some stuff to take on our field trip today. So let's have a look inside here.
I'm gonna bring a couple oranges and some brownies that I made yesterday, sugar-free, gluten-free. And we like to keep everything very neat, organized, use reused jars, and as you can see, we just like to eat really healthy, and during this time it's important to have some extra food on hand, so we've been stocking up pretty well.
Also, making and hanging around fires is one of our favorite things to do come nighttime, so we got a really nice fire ring here with some benches that we put together. This tent is really essential for us too. It's really big and spacious, so when we only have a small trailer to live in, it's just really nice to have this large tent that we can hang out in. I also put up this bar using square lashing to hang on the trees here. It's totally solid, and you can just hang to stretch the spine or grab pull-ups because we like to do yoga and fitness and stay healthy. So let's have a look inside the tent.
So as you can see, we have a little desk here where we can sit with a computer. I have a rug over here. I often do yoga in here on rainy days. And I also have a spot set up to do my macrame plant hangers.
It's especially nice for tall people like me because I can totally stand up in this, and that's pretty essential. We got a little heater that we can use to heat this space if we like. Now, if you've done a lot of camping yourself, you know that sometimes when the weather gets wet, having a tent on the ground can be a little tricky because you might get water inside. So we like to keep it dry and level and off the ground. So we had some pallets laying around here, and we got some plywood, and if you can see this, we just put together these pallets and drilled some plywood on top of that. So this thing is pretty level. It's not perfect, but it's off the ground, completely dry, and we're dialed in with that. So let's check out some other stuff. So when this campground is open and operating normally, you're gonna see something you'd typically see at a host site. You know, we've got like a kiosk thing here with maps, another thing that we store some stuff in. We would normally just be welcoming people and selling firewood, so all the firewood is kept in there, but it's all locked up right now. This campground also has a phone set up for the hosts, and so we've got a telephone line here in case anybody would call. There's also an electrical unit there, which we use to obviously power up the trailer. Running water coming out of there. In this shed here, there is a washer and dryer, which is actually really cool. And we also use it to store our bikes and some other things in. And then we got some firewood situation over here as well. This area has just got a bunch of logs that have been cut down many years ago, And so sometimes some maintenance people will come through here with like a chainsaw, cut some rounds, and then I'm borrowing this axe, and so I can just chop some wood here, stack it over there so we can have our fires. And behind us you can see that building there is the ranger station. A lot of the rangers will just come up there and do some of their work. There's also Wi-Fi coming out of there. This area that we're walking back to here is called the Hike and Bike Camp, and there's a bunch of little campsites nestled in the trees here. Oftentimes people will just be walking on trails in this area or biking, so they can just come up here and stay. It's really nice. As you can see, it's very sunny, and so we like to come up here and get some sun on our skin from time to time. There's also a couple of trees here that work perfectly for slacklining, so I'll bring my line up here and we'll just walk on the line. I'll be doing a whole nother video on that. So that pretty much does it for our campsite here. Now we want to shift gears, take you on this gator for a ride because it's a beautiful campsite in its entirety. We're going to go down to the beach and do a patrol because that's just how we roll. That is the surprise that I wanted to show you, why we came down to this beach. As you can see, that was a mother cub in a tide pool with her baby cub. They are so cute. We were hiking down here yesterday patrolling, and we came across the cub alone. It was just giving off some sounds, so we decided to come back and check on it today. It's like seal heaven. There's so many seals. The mama just went out to get some food so she can come back and give some nourishment to the baby. I'm going to take this opportunity to sneak down there for a couple of minutes to get a close shot for you. I don't know if you can see it that well. It's just sort of hiding in the little corner right there. It's just sounds like it's snoring, like it's taking a nap right now. The umbilical cord is still attached. The thing is so darn cute. I'm going to only be down here for a couple more seconds before leaving it in peace. Hey, sweetie. Hey, sweetie, sweetie. Oh, you're so good. Hey, pretty. Hey, pretty. Hey, sweetie. That was so cute. Did you see that? That little thing came out. Its umbilical cord is still attached, and it just went back into the corner. I think it wants to sleep, so I'm going to leave it in peace and head back up. Wow, does it even get any better than that? That was amazing. So we left the cub in peace, and we made sure that the mom saw us from the water leaving, so she feels safe. We feel really good about it. We'll check on them again tomorrow. So that's basically this beach area. As you can see, it's extremely beautiful. This gorgeous coastline is mostly a cliff with rocks that just drops right down to the water, and we're just so grateful to have this in our backyard. But we want to take you up further into the campground to see some of the other sites, a big open prairie, and just a fun ride in general. Let's go. So as you can see from a quick drive up around these campsites, it's really beautiful. There's well over 100, and it's just kind of weird too that this whole campground is closed. There's just not going to be anyone here for a while. So we got this whole place to ourselves, but once it reopens, you got to come check it out. But we're going to move on from this campground now and go up further on the trails, heading up towards this big open prairie, and just show you how beautiful it is up the mountainside. Let's go. So as the day's gone on, it's certainly warmed up, and it's a beautiful day up on the prairie land. Once you go about 2 miles up these trails here, it opens up into this beautiful open grassland, and there's turkey vultures and wildflowers up here. So this is a really nice and quiet spot to come up to. So this is pretty much as far as I've gone around this state park, and it's plenty enough for me, but there is a lot more to see. There's all kinds of trails that crisscross through this area. So very big place, very beautiful place, very grateful to be here. You know, you got this prairie up here, the forest, the beach, that ocean. How about those seals? That baby seal was adorable, one of the most precious things. So really grateful to get to witness that in the wild nature. We'll be going down the next few days to check on it. So, you know, it's crazy about these beautiful places in nature that are closed off right now. It just seems so strange to me, and it really doesn't sit well with me, but I'm not going to go too much into that right now. I'm going to dedicate the next few videos to going into more detail about my thoughts on COVID-19, but I'm telling you, these natural spaces should not be closed off to humans, in my opinion. So we are grateful to be here as camp hosts and have all of this as our backyard, but it should be open to other people too. Anyway, we are going to finish tooling around some of the trails and head back down to camp, but we're going to finish this off with a few extra shots for you. Really appreciate you tuning in. This is how we're camp hosting right now, and we'll see you in the next video.